Hi Aries, welcome to your Astro Reels reading. It is my pleasure to read for you, as you know. Also, as you know, these readings are ultimately timeless because we're dealing with energy and they're signless. So you need not have any significant Aries placements in your natal chart or to be watching this video at the time that it's made. If it resonates for you, then yeah, there's something for you. And if it doesn't, I would invite you to back pocket the reading and then come back and see how the energies have unfolded for you. All right, if you'd like to work more personally with me, I have all my information on this page, wherever you're watching, whichever platform, and you can find me at my Etsy page. All right, so let's jump in. So Aries, I hope you guys checked out the June 2023 reading. If you haven't, don't forget to do that. Okay. It's interesting because as I'm talking about your energy, as I'm talking to you, Aries, I'm feeling into your energy and I'm feeling a lot of paralysis. It's like, but almost like paralysis with spasms. Like, imagine just getting electrocuted, having just gotten electrocuted and then just feeling like, spazzing a little bit after. That's the kind of feeling. And this card, you just saw it how it flopped over. As I was turning it over like this, I saw the word obsessive here. But interestingly, that word is being superimposed upon the word carefree. Now, part of me wants to just like finish the reading now. Not finish it now, but it's almost like they're saying this is the reading, carefree. If Spirit were to come to you and say, hey, you are cultivating something right now, 1 minute 44 seconds, and you're like, really? Because when we talk about cultivating something, we talk about there's the impression of putting long-term practice towards something so that you can build it, so that you can embody it, so that you can learn it, its ins and outs. And so you're cultivating a skill set of some sort. And I have to chuckle a little bit because what you're cultivating is the ability to be carefree. And that's very interesting. It's very, very timely for me personally, because if you know me, I'm a bit of a worrywart. Overworking, a worrywart. I can never say that word. And I was just chatting with one of you guys. You know who you are. And I was telling you, and now I'm telling everybody else, that my guides a few days ago, just out of the blue, said, you're working on stillness. And all of a sudden, it was almost like, duh. It's like if I just zoomed out a little bit more from my life, I would have noticed, oh my God, that's what I'm working on. Now, was I being still? No. Me still. Yeah, right. But what I was experiencing was a lot of resistance and a lot of stress and obsessiveness and worry about not doing enough, not being productive, not doing the morning readings because, I had to stop that to focus on some other stuff that my guides want me to do in the mornings, but not getting as many readings out as I want and not publishing the stuff that I want to publish for the channel because I'm just working and blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, the guides are like, we want you to be still. And so there's a little bit of a loss there in the sense that it's time for us to 3 minutes and 33 seconds, whatever your action of stillness represents for you, it's time to allow yourself to get into a place. It's interesting the way I said that. I said it that way for a reason, and I did that for a reason. Place, because it's like settling down into something. And as I'm doing that, the guides just gave me this impression of, imagine the angels and guides, I'm seeing them with their little hands, I don't know. It's almost like, the doctors surgeons after they wash their hands and they're like, all right, I put my gloves on now, where's the patient? They're like waiting, and it's almost like waiting for you, Aries, or whoever you are, as you read this, listen to this. I saw that talking to me too as you read this. Okay, I got it. As you listen to this reading, they're waiting for you to get into permission. See, I was gonna say get into position, but get into permission. Give yourself permission to. Now let's talk a little bit about what this opens up. So if you, the listener, find yourself in a place of contention with yourself, in a push and pull, in a tete-a-tete, in other words, in a state of resistance, 4 minutes 44 seconds, about something in your life, you're being asked to ease into place so that you can accept it. Now, what's going to bridge the gap for a lot of us is an ideological shift, because part of the reason why we resist getting still and moving into a place of non-action or ease or anything like that is because it may run very contrary to what values are valorized in whatever your culture is. For example, if you are American and you've grown up in or you've grown up in an American society, then you understand productivity to be something that is a thing. It's like, I can't sit and twiddle my thumbs. The devil makes work for idle hands. All of these things, and of course that's rooted in our country's past and productivity and action and all of that. But at the same time, we have to zoom out and understand that that's a cultural thing. Because when you are overrunning yourself, when you're overdoing, whether you're overthinking, you're overacting, you're over trying or whatever, you're not still. What you're actively doing is you're constantly, now we're shifting to an energetic explanation, you're constantly in motion like this. Your energy is constantly vibrating. I'm trying to match the frequency, or make my hands match it. So if I were to look at if I were to match it, it's like this, constantly doing like this. I don't know why that is, but it matches. And so it's kind of like, how could something come to you? How can ideas flow to you? How can people come into your reality? All sorts of stuff. How can things take root and build within you if you're constantly in this threshing, like to thresh? Anyway, not thrash, thresh. Yeah. If you're in this like threshing kind of energy, it's like cutting everything off. And so for you guys, if you're reading this or you're watching this, so good. To laugh sometimes. If you're watching or listening to this, then chances are things have been trying to come to you and to grow within you. 7 minutes and 7 seconds. It's interesting. 7 of Pentacles is our planting of seeds. It's harvesting. It's watching things as they grow, right? It has a lot to do with the growth of things and, of course, of the planting. But anyway, but it's almost like you can't get still enough to get that energy to build in momentum. So here's my question to you. My question to you right now, whoever you are listening, is where in your life can you identify this energy of resistance to stillness? Perhaps you may respond more to the words resistance to accepting what is. Existence. Okay, existence. Yeah, maybe part of what you need to do is to understand that this is part of being alive. It's part of existence. It's an existential inevitability that you will need to enter a cycle of stillness. And perhaps it's also inevitable that there might be a little bit of struggle to move from one state into the other, but that's where acceptance comes in, and where faith with the capital F comes in. Faith meaning that you're going to trust that as you get quiet on one hand, that something's going to come in on the other. Now, let's take it more to the details. Why are you resisting, guys? Some of you, it may be because you are equating getting still with losing something. Maybe if I stop doing this, I'm going to lose something. I'm going to miss a step. I'm going to walk down a path alone. And sometimes abandonment is a big factor for a lot of people. They feel that if they don't stay attached to someone or something, that if they let go, they're going to be let go of, right? And so this is I'm trying to say this is a great opportunity for you to observe and to look into what it is that you need to do. Now look at the next 2 cards, super cute. Soul travel, spirit gifts. Look at this cute little hummy. He's like, he's busy, right? Because these guys are busy, but he's on the carefree card because look, his little hands, boop, are busy, and it mirrors this, you see, rip. So be busy with the energy and the flow that is coming to you, but remain still enough. See how still he is? Still enough to receive that flow. So we're looking at some co-creation with spirit. Oh wow, look at now they're doing this, and it's slower, and now it's able to move another way, because they're saying that also when we are unable to get still or unwilling to get still, what we're doing is we're creating a sense of rigidity for us, because you see how now the energies were moving slowly and it was moving in this direction, and then they just stopped it and went another direction, because that's the adaptability that we're being asked to adopt. Now let's I was going to say let's make it more macroscopic, but I heard them say let's manifest 10 minutes 10 seconds. So they're saying that when you're manifesting, and when I was saying when you're making it more macroscopic, we can view this as being able to walk with spirit, co-creating with spirit. And we think about the fingerprints, the cute little fingerprints poem, and spirit is like, yeah, everyone's asking Jesus to take the wheel, and but how could Jesus get on that wheel, God bless, if we're like, "Urgh," and everyone wants to walk with God and Jesus is calling and whatever people are doing these days. But what's missing is the act of faith and the act of surrender. And it's almost like, don't you want a rest, right? Actually, I was actually having a very juicy rest before I got onto this video, and I've been lambasting myself about it the whole time, and I'm like, if you don't get up right now. Oh my God. So what do you want, universe? Do you want us to rest, or do you want us to work? But anyway, 11 minutes 11 seconds. So long story short, we're working together, so co-creating, and our part is to get still. And they're saying, if you're watching this video, hi, 11 minutes 22 seconds, that you are a conduit. You are actively, everyone is, but you in particular, you're watching this, you're actively playing a very particular role in the grounding of energies into the Earth's grid, the crystalline grid, right? So you're a conduit for frequencies that are coming in. When the frequencies come into your field, you catch them, and then you do your processing, you have your own upgrades, you this and that, you get your clearings, you blah, blah, blah. And then you're able to channel that energy down to the earth. Now, in a sense, just using, and we do this in many different ways, whether you're building something, whether you're doing art, whether you're whatever. And just to show you one of the manifestations of this, it's like what I'm doing here. Energies and information are coming to me, and of course these energies hitting my field, so I process them, blah blah blah, and then I ground them and I earth them, I bring them into this earthly plane through this channeling and through this offering and giving and all of this stuff, right? And so that's only one way in which we ground and we earth new and higher vibrational frequencies. But they're saying that if we're always chaotic, if we're not still, if we're not giving the time to release and give ourselves permission to receive, then how can we finalize and pull that energy in? Now, here's the kicker. What I think and what I feel they're supporting a great opportunity is, or what a nice some good advice is to give yourself the ideological shift that you need. Usually we get it when we want something, we get into the mode of, oh, well, I deserve this. Oh, I deserve this treat. It's been a hard day. That's one of the ways we talk ourselves into doing things, right? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about giving yourself the ideological shift. And one of the ways that we healthily hear this is like, well, if I'm being of service to anyone in my life in any capacity, even if I'm a short order cook, whatever I'm doing, I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, because if I can't take care of myself, then I'm no good for anybody else, really. That I have no reserves to give to other people. So that's an example of an ideological shift. And whatever you need to do to tell yourself that, what you're actively going to be doing is giving yourself the permission, because the permission can only come from you. Sometimes we may use other people to talk us into feeling okay about giving ourselves the permission. Oh, well, I chatted with my dad about it and he thought it sounded like a good idea, so I'm going to do it, right? But your dad is not giving you the permission. You're giving yourself the permission. You just are kind of, and I say you, meaning we, right, are just kind of, I guess, craven about it, and you don't want to take the helm, so you put it up to someone else. But if that person gave you permission to kill somebody, you wouldn't kill that someone because you don't want to. That's not your bag, right? I hope not. And so you see, that's a quick example of how even though we involve other people in the things that we do, they're not giving us permission. We are using them to give ourselves the permission that we are not strong enough or not willing enough to own for ourselves. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to keep this under 15 minutes so that I can post to Instagram, and I would invite you, Aries, or whoever you are, to take permission to get still and to earth and ground whatever is necessary. Mwah.